So when I say I have calluses, people think I mean like a little dry skin. No, this is what I mean. So sometimes I pumice stone them off, but here I am peeling them off. It's pretty satisfying.
I've seen a lot of videos about this foot mask that basically makes your entire foot peel off, and I wanted to try it out for myself. As you can see, I've got really dry heels and calluses on my toes, and I started by soaking my feet for 15 minutes in warm water. Then I put the booties on, kept them in place with some socks, and relaxed for 90 minutes. It took about 4 days before I noticed anything, but then the dead skin started peeling off and it got pretty bad. After it was all gone, I was really pleased with how soft and smooth my feet turned out, and so glad I gave it a try.
Manta shrimp pack an absolutely mean punch. They got spring-loaded arms that come out so fast, it's the same speed as a .22 caliber bullet. I got my knife here, I'm not gonna hurt it anyway, I'm gonna get it to do the strike. Ready? You'll hear it. Boom! A big one of them would leave you in a whole world of pain. Unbelievable creatures.
How's it going, sir? What can I get for you?
We have a...
So what happens when you take a damaged end mill, throw it in a tool holder, and then go full slotting an inch deep through 1018 steel? One of the things I find really incredible about these end mills is that as the cutting edge chips and breaks down, the tool basically resharpens itself almost like an arrowhead. So now you guys know why we call these things a zombie mill. We started with a damaged, broken end mill. We made it through 6 full slots at regular speed as if the tool was new. The zombie mill, the tool from Kennametal that just won't die.
How many holes does a straw have? People have weirdly strong opinions about this question, but there is a mathematically correct answer from the field of topology. 27! No, but I like the way you think. The 3 most common answers are A, 2 holes, 1 at each end, B, 1 hole, it's just a hole all the way down, or C, no holes because it's a cylinder and that's a continuous surface. Unless it's a leaky straw. Those are the worst, am I right? So what's the answer? This blob has no holes. Now it clearly has 1 hole. Now I extend that hole out into a cylinder without ever poking another hole. Still leaving 1 hole. See, it's a straw. I should never go into pottery. Mathematically, a straw is a circle with 1 hole times an interval with no holes, leaving still a shape with 1 hole. Math is fun!
Did you know that when you get glasses, we order your prescription lens just like this? They're a little bigger, this way we can cut it to the frame that you picked. Once it's cut, this is exactly how it looks, and we can install it into the frame. Once in the frame, it looks exactly like this, and they're ready for pickup and use.
His voice. I'm Peppa Pig. George, if you jump in muddy puddles, you must wear your boots. Oh,
Ready? Yes.
You see when that plunger goes all the way down, that means all the medication has been delivered, and that's when the needle goes back up. It's a safety syringe. It stops the person giving the jab getting jabbed.
Do you know the reason why the first webcam was created? I just learned about this the other day and it made me laugh so much. The reason why the webcam was created was so that scientists could check the level of the coffee pot in the hallway outside the lab. Students and scientists at Cambridge got sick of walking out into the hall just to find the coffee pot to be empty. So in order to not waste trips, they set up this webcam of this 129 by 129 pixel camera that took 1 frame per second to monitor the level of the coffee pot. There it is. That's the coffee pot. This webcam predated the internet and lasted until 2001 when the lab was finally moved.
He looks like he just had a hair transplant at about a week. You see the skin heal over with scabs. Starting at about 4 months is when you start to see new growth, and then by 6 months it really starts to come in. It takes about a year to see the full effect. You want to be about the age of 25 or older to do hair transplant, but works really well.
A boy from India had 526 teeth removed. He arrived at the hospital with jaw pain and swelling, and this x-ray shows a sack of miniature teeth. The cause was a tumor that grew teeth called a compound composite odontoma. Removal took surgeons nearly 5 hours, but the boy made a full recovery.
Well, you learn something new every day. Apparently, this is how ice is made. In your fridge.
Your poop says a lot about you. If you're at type 1 or 2, you're constipated. If you're 5, 6, or 7, you have diarrhea. And that says a lot about you.
Look at this new machine we just got. It goes in, right? You can close it up.
Push it gently.
Wow.
Shaving. They were not that much hairs, and at first I thought it's gonna be an easy case. But I was so wrong, and you will know why very soon. When I took off the first strip, I realized how deep are the roots. So just look at them. That was her first waxing session, so she had tiny little spots on top. Today we had some leftovers, so I decided to apply a cleanup strip. As you can see, the consistency is very thin and it has the smell of lime. She felt a little bit uncomfortable today, but she also said that it's much better than shaving. Sometimes I use tweezers to get the shortest hair. If you use metal tweezers, you have to have a good sterilizer. Don't forget to tap like if you like the result.
People always ask me, Hank, is it true that if you gooped up all humans into one ball of flesh that it would just be 1 kilometer wide and that you could fit it in Central Park of New York City? Yes, it is. They did the math. Seriously, people have been asking me about this, and yes, this is legitimate. But the thing that amazes me about this, despite the fact that someone visualized it, which is not great, is that this is a really small ball. Like, here's the main way that this is a small ball. We have had to take over the majority of the surface of the land to feed the goo ball. We have destabilized the entire climate of the planet for like the pleasure and comfort of the goo ball. I'm not saying it isn't hard to sustain life. It absolutely is. But I feel like a ball this size should not have this level of impact on the planet.
Stitch this with a weird history fact you know that they didn't teach you in school. I'll go first. In 18th century Europe, pineapples became a status symbol because they were so expensive, and so people would bring them to parties. People would often rent them for the evening because buying one would set you back, in modern day money, around £6,000 or $8,000.